Hello. Well, welcome to training today. My name is Jennifer Craig, and I'm going to do a training on the HIM data prevention and destruction, protecting of sensitive patient information throughout the data lifecycle. So this is very important information, and I'm glad that you all can be here for this training today. By the end of this presentation, I have listed what participants should be able to comprehend or do or understand. So please read these. I have listed them 1 through 10. There's more on the next slide. Right here. Those are continued. Please read these. Thank you. All right. Well, the purpose of this policy is to protect patient privacy, maintain accurate records, and ensure the information is retained for the required period. The policy applies to all workforce members and all forms of health information, including electronic, paper, and other recorded patient data. Retention and destruction practices must comply with applicable federal and state laws, including HIPAA and organizational requirements. Following this policy helps prevent unauthorized disclosure, supports legal and regulatory compliance, and ensures health information is securely destroyed when it is no longer required or needed. We are obligated to retain this information for a period of time, and we'll get into that in a couple slides here. But yeah, just something to really think about here, that it's not only just applicable to federal and state laws, our state being Ohio, as you know, but also to the organizational requirements. So the Bryan Memorial Hospital's requirements as well. So keep that in mind. Also, if you don't know what those requirements are, I'm sorry, that's on our last slide, but just in case you don't understand or know what those are, you can always ask or find out. Ask HR or ask me. We'll let you know. So on the next slide here is the legal requirements. So the federal and state, Ohio being ours, regulations relevant to data retention and destruction, HIPAA and high tech. So Ohio law requires healthcare organizations to retain health information for a certain amount of time. Here in Ohio, it is 7 years, just so you'll know. So keep that in mind. Okay, security measures, data storage, access control, and management practices, or the CIA of health information, I like to call it, is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So making sure that our data is stored properly, we have access controls and management practices of all of our health information. And that we're storing it right. So, and how do we store that securely? By monitoring it continuously, retaining according to our policy, and destroying securely. PHI should never be thrown away or deleted. It must be destroyed using an approved method that prevents unauthorized individuals from reconstructing or accessing the information, and the destruction should be documented. So basically, what does this mean? This means that even upon destruction of these documentation or documents of the personal health information, it needs to be documented. And why does it need to be documented? Well, what if somebody else has that information, right? How did they get it? How come it wasn't destroyed? When was it destroyed? Who destroyed it? So it's important that we document that we have destroyed it and how we destroyed it, because if later on it comes back that somebody else already has that information, how did they get it if we've destroyed it? So yeah, make sure that you document that, how you destroyed it, what time and day, and your initials. Thank you. That's just Another CY or yeah, CYA, CYA that we need to do. And I think that most of us understand that that's always very important to do in certain circumstances, especially when it comes to someone else's health information. So compliance measures require ongoing training, monitoring, auditing, enforcement, and accountability to ensure patient information remains protected throughout its entire life cycle. Excuse me. So that's basically um, just letting um, you know that this is going on throughout the PHI life cycle of the PHI before it is completely destroyed. Um, Also, what could result if there is non-compliance? Well, I've listed that as well, and it's very substantial. So make sure that you are meeting the compliance. Each one of us is we handle if we handle PHI, which we do, which is why we're having this training, then we are each of us are to be handling this in this way. Um, and so, yeah, and we just don't want to get in trouble for not. So make sure you are. All right. So at this point in time, this is a Q&A, but I have a fun activity up here as well. So I can answer any questions that you may have at this point, since we've covered so far and what we've covered so far. But here is a fun question for you all, since we're doing questions and answers, and I'll have an answer for you on the other slide after this one. But this is a fun activity, so go ahead and read this. I'll read it out loud too. A patient's medical record has reached the organization's required retention period. However, the patient is currently involved in a legal dispute with the hospital. Should this record be destroyed? And here's your answers that you can choose from. Okay, well, did you get the correct answer? The correct answer should have been B. A legal hold can suspend routine destruction even when normal retention period has expired. So just know that. It's an interesting question. And again, like I said, if somebody, and that's a good one to think about, because if someone like myself or some other manager is telling you to go ahead and destroy some documents, this is an important question to ask. Is there any holes on this? Is there anything that we're overlooking? Just to make sure that you're not going to destroy something that is honestly still needed. So, in conclusion, it's pretty self-explanatory, but employees must understand how to securely store, access, retain, and destroy both paper and electronic health information. It's so important, and I hope that this training has helped you in doing understanding that a little bit better. And as we go throughout our work, that we understand how important PHI really is, even the destruction of PHI. Said PHI. So thank you for attending this training today. If you have any further questions, we can talk after. And thank you again, and have a great rest of your day.